Dasavindatnam Vande Krishnadasa Prabhum Tata Chanavatar Chaitanya Lila Vishakha Go Nityananda Parabja Adunarena Bushito Vyakachano Burachincha Pavande Vyasarupino Shri Guru Gordhandarva Govindas Chaganai Saha Jayanti Pachapaschacha Sarvesham Kurivartino. So we are here in Austin, Texas again, and we are continuing. What is the name of the center here? Sridhar Govinda Seva Sanctuary. And we're very happy to be here, and in the company of very good Vaishnavas present. And we're going to continue with Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are in chapter 19 of the Antya Leela, so we're almost right at the end of this holy text. The inconceivable behavior of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vande tam Krishna Chaitanya Macha Bhakti Shiromanim Galapya Mukha Sangarshi Madhudhyana Lalasaya. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most exalted of all devotees of mothers, most exalted of all devotees of mothers, Macha Bhakta, spoke like a madman. I suppose that's an expression meaning someone who's devoted to their mother. Like that. Spoke like a madman and rubbed his face against the walls. Overwhelmed by emotions of ecstatic love, he would sometimes enter the Jagannath Vallabha garden to perform his pastimes. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Dvaita Chandra, Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Emate Mahaprabhu Krishna Prema Veshe, Unmadra Lakpare Rachi Divase. In the ecstasy of love of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus behaved like a madman, talking insanely all day and this is chapter 19 of the Antya Leela. So we're in the final section of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mahaprabhu is withdrawing from his public duty of preaching, and he's tasting the inner heart of Radharani in separation from Krishna. So this was the last 12 years of Mahaprabhu's presence in his world. He completed his public duty to the world, spreading Harinam Sankirtan, saving the conditioned souls, and then last 12-year period he withdrew for his own internal need and desire. So often appearing like a madman as we're here, not in so much awareness or consideration of normal conventional behavior and standards, etc. But more and more absorbed in this inner mood. And so he kept a very intimate circle around him during this time, who could understand and support him in that mood. So in the ecstasy of love of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus behaved like a madman, talking insanely all day and night. Oh, I forgot. Pastor, do you mind grabbing my microphone? Because the background noise is it's just on the desk when you enter the room right ahead of you. It's a long, long cord. You should be able to find it. Jagannath Pandit was a very dear devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord derived great pleasure from his activities. Pativatsar Prabhutadev Patanadiyate Vicha Dukita Jani Janani Ashvasite. Knowing his mother to be greatly afflicted by separation from him, the Lord would send Jagadananda Pandit to Navadvip every year to console her. So this is something sweet. Yeah, I understand this is why this was mentioned in the introductory verse. Kaviraj Goswami is highlighting this aspect of the Lord, the special affection and care that he had for his mother. Even as a sannyasi, which is interesting. When he decided to take sannyas, after he took sannyas, he asked his mother, you decide where I should stay. And she decided on Puri. And so, in obedience and consideration to Shachi Mata, he decided to base himself in Puri. And she chose Puri because Jagannath Puri and Navadvip, it was a regular route for pilgrims. So there were always devotees coming and going on that route, and so it would be easier, than other places for her to hear news of him. And then Jagadananda Pandit, he lived in Navadvip with Mahaprabhu, very intimate to Mahaprabhu, and so he was a natural choice to give messages to Shachi Mata, going from Puri to Navadvip. Nadia Chaloho Matade Koviho. Oh, and so that kind of fits in here. Why Kaviraj Goswami referred to him at the beginning. Matra Bhakta Shiromani, the crown jewel of all persons who are devoted to their mothers, something like that. And Gurudev also appreciated how, we refer to Mahaprabhu sometimes as Shachi Nandan, right? The son of Mother Shachi. It's very sweet, Only in the Krishna conceptions you find this, where God is referred to as the son of his mother. It's very, very charming, very, very sweet. Also, Yashoda Nandan, Yashomati Nandana. The Lord is, we think of the Lord, he's referred to in this way. Very, very charming, very, very beautiful way to consider our Lord. Such is his sweetness. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Jagadananda Pandit, go to Nadia and offer my obeisances to my mother. Touch her lotus feet in my name. Tell her for me, please remember that I come here every day and offer my respects to your lotus feet. Je dine toma icha koraite bojan, se dine asya vasya koriye bakan. Any day you desire to feed me, I certainly come and accept what you offer. Tomar seva, and it's mentioned elsewhere, right? That Mahaprabhu is always in these four places, in where Nityananda is dancing, in the home of Raghava Pandit, in the courtyard of Srivas, and where Shachi Mata is cooking. Is mentioned. These four places, Mahaprabhu is always present there. So he's telling Jagadananda, when you see my mother, tell her, whenever she's cooking for me, I always come there and I always take those offerings. Any day you desire to feed me, I certainly come and accept what you offer. So this is the message for Shachi Mata. Tomar seva chadiyami korilo sanyas, bala hoyami koilo dharma nash. I have given up service to you and have accepted the vow of sannyas. I have thus become mad and have destroyed the principles of religion. Wow. My natural duty is to serve you, my dear mother, but like a madman I gave that up and I took the vow of sannyas. And it's also interesting, in the Vedic culture, there's also the custom that that before someone could take sannyas, they had to get permission from their mother. And we hear that story of Shankaracharya, how he wanted to take sannyas when he was 12 years old or something like that. And he kept asking his mother for permission, but she wouldn't give him permission. And so he couldn't leave. And so then he orchestrated this illusion where he was in this lake, and it looked like there was a crocodile about to devour him. And then he shouted out to and it looked like this is the end, these are his last moments, he's about to die. And so then he calls out to his mother, "Oh, mother, now will you give me permission to take sannyas?" My dying wish. And then she said, okay, yes, whatever you want. And then the illusion, disappeared. And, "Oh, thank you, Mom. I'll be on my way now." But it's very nice. It's quite charming, and it shows like how much honor, there is for the mother in the Vedic culture. I heard actually before Gurudev gave me saffron, someone who was there told me the Gurudev he mentioned something like, "Oh, did Divyashari give her permission?" Like he said something like that, and then he said, "Oh, it's okay." Like he knew she'd be okay about it, but he thought about her, which I thought was very, very nice, very sweet. I have given up service to you and have accepted the vow of sannyas. I have thus become mad and have destroyed the principles of religion. E aparad tumi naloi ho amar, tomar adina ami pucha se tomar. Mother, please do not take this as an offense, for I, your son, am completely dependent upon you. Nilachole achi ami tomar agyate, java jiba tavadami naribo chadite. I am staying here at Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, according to your order. As long as I live, I shall not leave this place. Gopalilai pailaje prasad vasane, matare patanata purir vachane. Following the order of Paramananda Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent his mother the prasad clothing left by Lord Jagannath after his pastimes as a cowherd boy. Jagannath uttam prasad aniyajatane, matare pitak patan arbhaktagane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very carefully brought first-class prasadam from Lord Jagannath and sent it in separate packages to his mother and the devotees at Nadia. Matra bhaktagane Prabhu hon shiromani, sannyas kodiya sada seven janani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the topmost gem of all devotees of mothers. He rendered service to his mother even after he had accepted the vow of sannyas. Jagadananda Nadia Giya Matare Milila, Paburjata Nivedan Sakal Kohila. Jagadananda Pandit thus went to Nadia, and when he met Shachimata, he conveyed to her all the Lord's salutations, or submissions, or prayers. Acharjari Bhaktagane Milila Prasadiya, Mata Tai Agyaloila Masek Rohiya. He then met all the other devotees headed by Advaita Acharya and gave them the prasadam of Jagannath. After staying for 1 month, he took permission from Mother Shachi to leave. Acharya tai agya magila, Acharya Gosai Prabode Sandesh Kohila. When he went to Advaita Acharya and also asked his permission to return, Advaita Prabhu gave him a message to deliver to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Advaita Acharya would live between Shantipur and Navadvip. So Jagadananda goes from Puri to Navadvip, visits all the Vaishnavas, and he's getting ready to go back. And Advaita Acharya is one of the seniors, so he's getting permission to return. And Advaita has a message, very significant message. Taraja Prahili Acharya Kohen Tade Tode Prabhu Matra Bhujan Keho Bhujite Napade. Advaita Acharya had written a sonnet in equivocal language with an import that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand, but others could not. So, in other words, a cryptic message that only Mahaprabhu would understand. Prabhude kohiho amar, koti namaskar, e nivedanta charane amar. In his sonnet, Advaita Prabhu first offered his obeisances hundreds and thousands of times unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He then submitted the following statement at his lotus feet. So this is the message. Bola ke kohiho lo koilo baul, bola ke kohiho hate navi kai chol. Chal. Don't know how to pronounce that. Please inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is acting like a madman, that everyone here has become mad like him. Inform him also that in the marketplace, rice is no longer in demand. Literally, it's more concise. What he says, it's more has more impact. Is like, tell the madman. In other words, Mahaprabhu. Advaita is saying, Baul means like a mad kind of person. So tell the madman that everyone has become mad, and tell the madman, Hatena. Is that referring to rice there? Yeah, that rice there's no longer any demand for rice in the market. Bola ke kohiho kaya nahi kohal, baula ke kohiho iha kohiache bau. Further tell him, so tell the madman, that those now in ecstatic love are no longer interested in the material world. Also tell the madman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that one who has also become a madman in ecstatic love, in other words, myself, Advaita, has spoken these words. So who's sending you this message has become mad also. Kaya nahi ko al. Eta shuni Jagadananda hasite lagila, nila chole hasitobe prabhude kohila. When he heard Advaita Acharya's statement, Jagadananda Pandit began to laugh. And when he returned to Jagannath Puri, he informed Mahaprabhu of everything. Taraja shuni Mahaprabhu isha tasila, tarje agya poli mauna dodila. After hearing the cryptic sonnet by Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu quietly smiled. That is his order, he said. Then he fell silent. Janyao Sarup Gosai Prabhude Puchilo, E Tada Jararta Bhujite Nadilo. Although he knew the secret, Swarup Damodar Goswami inquired from the Lord, what is the meaning of this sonnet? I could not understand it. Prabhu kohen acharya hoy pujak prabal, agam shastre vidi vidane kushal. Mahaprabhu replied, Advaita Acharya is a great worshipper of the Lord and is very expert in the regulative principles enjoined in the Vedic literatures. Upasana lagi dever koden navahan, puja lagi kotokal koden nirodhan. Advaita Acharya invites the Lord to come and be worshipped, and to perform the worship he keeps the deity for some time. Puja nirvahan bhoile pache koden visarjan, tadajana janiyata kibatarman. After the worship is completed, he sends the deity somewhere else. I do not know the meaning of this sonnet, nor do I know what is in Advaita Prabhu's mind. Mahayogeshwara Acharya tadajate samartha, amiho bhujite nadi tadajarartha. Advaita Acharya is a great mystic. No one can understand him. He is expert in writing sonnets that even I myself cannot understand. Shuniya vishmit hoila sab bhaktagan, swarup gosai kicho hoila viman. Hearing this, all the devotees were astonished, especially Srup Damodar, who became somewhat morose. So the Mahaprabhu, there's this practice in India, and we see it in Bengal, how like the people, they will construct a temporary deity, like out of mud and straw, and they'll worship the deity for some time, and then they'll like respectfully throw the deity away. Like you contract the deity for your purpose, and then you dismiss the deity, like that. And so what Mahaprabhu is saying, and what Advaita is saying, Advaita is the one who called Mahaprabhu, right? Advaita Acharya is the one who prayed for the Lord to descend, seeing the condition of the people in the age of Kali. So Advaita was the instrumental person who prayed for the Lord to come. And now Mahaprabhu's job is finished, and so Advaita is saying, oh, you can go now. You're finished, your duty's over. You can stop now. And and he's using this analogy in this message of rice. Like the market's already, like if you have too much of a product, it starts to lose value, right? So like you've already spread this very widely. If you spread it more, then people, they won't appreciate what this is. And everyone's got it. Everyone's become mad now already with this, madness of divine love that you have distributed. So he's saying, now your job is finished, And then Mahaprabhu is like kind of joking and being a little sarcastic, like saying, oh, Advaita Acharya, he's a great worshipper of the Lord and very expert in regulative principles. He invites a deity and then he dismisses the deity when he's finished, But he, he's, there's this playfulness between them, but, underneath he's also appreciating, okay, I did my duty now. And so this marks like the moment when Mahaprabhu fully, enters into that, what he came for, that inner reason for which he came. It's like he's been moving in this direction, more into this inner mood, and now Advaita Acharya is kind of giving him permission, okay, you finish now, And then from there, as we hear, Mahaprabhu goes more into this internal state. Sedina hoite prabhur aro dasha hoilo, Krishna vichena dasha drigun badilo. From that day on, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotional state changed markedly. His feelings of separation from Krishna doubled in intensity. Unmad pralap cheshta koderachi dine, Radha bhava vishe viraha bade anukane. As his feelings of separation and the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani increased at every moment, the Lord's activities, both day and night, were now wild, insane performances. Achambite spore Krishna matora gaman udgorna dasha hoilo unmad lakam. Suddenly there awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the scene of Lord Krishna's departure to Mathura. And he began exhibiting the symptom of ecstatic madness, known as Udgorna. Ramanander Gola Dodi Godem Pralapan Sarupe Puchen Mani Nija Sakigam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman, holding Ramananda Raya by the neck, and he questioned Srup Damodar, thinking him to be his gopi friends. Purvajena Vishakha Radhika Puchila Se Shloka Podipalap Kodite Lagila. Just as Srimati Radharani inquired from her personal friend Vishakha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, reciting that very verse, began speaking like a madman. And now there's a citation here. This is by Rupa Goswami, Lalita Madhava. And Gurudev liked this verse very much. Kwananda Kula Chandrama, Kwa Shiki Chandra Kalankriti, Kwa Manja Murali Rava, Kwa Nu Surenja Nila Duti, Kwa Rasa Rasa Tandavi, Kwa Saki Jiva Rakshoshadir, Nidir Mama Suhitama, Kwa Bata Hanta Ha Digvidim. So this is spoken by Srimati Radharani. My dear friend, where is Krishna, who is like the moon rising from the ocean of Maharaj Nanda's dynasty? Where is Krishna, his head decorated with a peacock feather? Where is he? Where is Krishna, whose flute produces such a deep sound? Oh, where is Krishna, whose bodily luster is like the luster of the blue Indranila jewel? Where is Krishna, who is so expert in rasa dancing? Oh, where is he who can save my life? Kindly tell me where to find Krishna, the treasure of my life and best of my friends. Feeling separation from him, I hereby condemn Providence, the shaper of my destiny. So this is Rupa Goswami's verse. And now, in these following verses, Kaviraj Goswami is like, what's the word? Is it like parsing? He's like breaking the verse down and like elaborating. Like there are different points that are mentioned in this verse. It's like a concise, like 4-line Sanskrit verse. And then Kaviraj Goswami is like kind of breaking up the verse and elaborating upon many of the things that are mentioned here. And in very beautiful, sweet Bengali. So now here's the first. And Gurudev loved these verses, and particularly this one I'm going to read now. I heard him quote several times. Brajendra kul dugdha sindhu, Krishna tahe purna hindu, janmi koila jagat tu jor, kantyamrita jeva piye, nirantar piya jiye, braja jane nayan jakur. The family, so this is referring, so in this verse of Rupa Goswami, he refers to Krishna as the moon rising from the ocean of Nanda Maharaj's Kula, means like his family lineage, dynasty. So, Kwananja Kula Chandrama. Well, literally the Sanskrit here is saying Krishna is referred to as the moon of the dynasty of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda, where is that moon of Nanda Maharaj's Kul, Nanda Maharaj's lineage, family line? Where is that? And then in this verse, Kaviraj Goswami is explaining that. The family of Nanda Maharaj is just like an ocean of milk, wherein Krishna has arisen like the full moon to illuminate the entire universe. The eyes of the residents of Braja are like chakora birds. And so
we hear about the chatak birds more commonly, right? The chatak birds, it's said they only subsist upon fresh falling rainwater. But then chakora birds, they're also mentioned in the scriptures as birds that only live on moonlight, nothing else. And actually in the song we just sang, it's mentioned, right? That Jamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora. So the gopis are compared to these chakora birds that only live on the moon of Krishna, Krishna's beauty. So here also Krishna is compared to this moon that's arisen from this ocean. And there's also a significance to this, because we hear this kind of analogy sometimes, like the moon arising from the ocean. Like, what is that about? But there's actually, I heard Srila Sridhar Maharaj explain it on one tape. And it's also something that the ordinary scientists discuss. Like maybe you've heard of it. There's some idea, I don't know how widely it's believed, but nowadays, but there is some idea that the moon originally came from the earth. And there was some forceful explosion or something in the earth. And so the moon is like a crater that originally came from the earth. You heard something like that?
Yes,
Not.
but I don't remember the specifics.
Mm.
I think it might have even been debris, a large crater.
Yeah.
Something came off the earth, and as well as various debris that gradually compacted, maybe.
Mm.
I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that, and particularly one ocean where it came from. And so that's why we find these kinds of references in the writings of our charges, like the moon above the ocean. So Krishna is compared to this moon above this ocean of milk, representing Nanda Maharaj's dynasty. And then the residents of Vrindavan, they're like chakor birds that are living on that moonlight of Krishna. It's very beautiful. The family of Maharaj Nanda is just like an ocean of milk, wherein Krishna has arisen like the full moon to illuminate the entire universe. The eyes of the residents of Braja are like chakora birds that continuously drink the nectar of his bodily luster and thus live peacefully. Saki he kota Krishna karaho darshan kane ke jahar mukh na dekile fate bhuk shigra deko hona hare jivan. My dear friend, where is Krishna? Kindly let me see him. My heart breaks at not seeing his face even for a moment. Kindly show him to me immediately. Otherwise, I cannot live. He Brajaramani Kamarka Tapta Kumudini Nija Karamita Diadan Prapulita Koreje Kahamor Chandra Se Tekaho Sakira Kamor Pran. The women of Vrindavan are just like lilies, growing hot in the sun of lusty desires. But moon-like Krishna makes them all jubilant by bestowing upon them the nectar of his hands. O my dear friend, where is my moon now? Save my life by showing him to me. Kahase churatam shiki pichar udhan navamege jeno injadanu pitambar thadi duti muktamala baka panti navambuddha jini shamatanu. My dear friend, where is that beautiful helmet with a peacock feather upon it like a rainbow upon a new cloud? Where are those yellow garments shining like lightning? And where is that necklace of pearls that resemble flocks of ducks flying in the sky? The blackish body of Krishna triumphs over the new blackish rain cloud. This is such a beautiful analogy here. So, Krishna's beautiful form is being compared to this pastoral scene So Krishna's peacock feather is compared to a rainbow, and his dark body to a blackish rain cloud, and his necklace of pearls is like a flock of flying birds. His yellow garments are compared to lightning. Very, very beautiful. It's a real meditation. Ekabar ja nayane lage sadatar hridoye jage Krishna tanu jena amar Krishna tanu jena amrata nadimane paishe hoye Chatne nahi bahir tanu nahe seya kule kanta. If a person's eyes even once capture that beautiful body of Krishna, it remains always prominent within his heart. Krishna's body resembles the sap of the mango tree, for when it enters the minds of women, it will not come out, despite great endeavor. Thus, Krishna's extraordinary body is like a thorn of the seya berry tree. So once that thorn enters you, it won't leave. It's stuck. Something like that. Jinya tamal duty, Indranila samakanti, sekanti te jagat matai, Shingaraj sarchani, tate chandra jyoti vidi niramilatai. Krishna's bodily luster shines like the Indranila gem and surpasses the luster of the tamal tree. The luster of his body, the tamal tree, it's like a dark blackish tree, so often Krishna's form is compared to that tree. The luster of his body drives the entire world mad because providence has made it transparent by refining the essence of the mellow of conjugal love and mixing it with moonshine. Kahase morali dvani navabra garjita jini jagadakashe shavane jahar utidai brajajan chishita chataka gan asi piye kantyamita dar. The deep vibration of Krishna's flute surpasses the thundering of new clouds and attracts the aural reception of the entire world. Thus the inhabitants of Vrindavan rise and pursue that sound, drinking the showering nectar of Krishna's bodily luster like thirsty chatak birds. Morse kola nidhi pranadaka mahoshadi saki morte hosuhitam deho jiye tahavine dike jivane vidi kode eta vidhamban. Krishna is the reservoir of art and culture, and he is the panacea that saves my life. O my dear friend, since I live without him who is the best among my friends, I condemn the duration of my life. What's the point of living if I cannot, be in his company? I think that providence has cheated me in many ways. Maybe we'll stop there today. Very, very high, very beautiful expressions. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. Would you sing Hari Hari Nama Krishna? It's 60.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Sudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chanda.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chanda.
Radha Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Radha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunatha.
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha.
Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha.
Gosai Gosai Gauri Charana Vandana.
Jai Gosai Kodi Karana Bandhana.
Rahu Hoite Vignana Savista Purana.
Maha Hoite Vignana Savista Purana.
Jai Gosai Jara Muhita Radasa.
Jai Gosai Jai Muhita Dadasa.
Dasa Bhagavata Renu Mura Panchagrasa.
Ansabara Pada Renu Mura Panchagrasa.
Radharata Siddhi Bhakta Sanabhasha.
Jira Charana Sedi Bhakta Sanivasa.
Janame Janame More Avilasa.
Janame Janame More Avilasa.
Jai Gosai Jagat Raja Koye Bhasha.
Jai Gosai Jade Braje Koyo Bhasha.
Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakasha.
Niti Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakasha.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Krishna Prakasha.
Which verse? Just start from one verse and we'll pick up.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Paramahayamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Madhyayamana.
Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriyasha.
Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyasha.
Vishakha Paramhamsa Parivarakacharya Var Ashtotar Shatashish Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishakha Shubhakti Raksha Shridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Shubhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Saprasad Shiva Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All the world devotees Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanand.